शेयर मार्केट में रुचि रखने वाले को भी ये गुरु मंत्र है कि जो सरकारी कंपनियों को ये लोग गाली देना, आप उसमें दांव लगा दीजिए साहब, अच्छा ही होने वाला है।
Hi everyone. So what Modi ji just said is called as theme picking. So Modi ji is very bullish on the public sector enterprise theme. उन्होंने बोल दिया कि भाई साहब पैसे लगा दो PSE पे, public sector enterprises पे, and you are going to make massive money. Now I can't say for or against this particular theme, but what I'm trying to tell you is that this particular aspect of picking a theme, picking a strategy, putting that money behind that strategy would allow you to make money if you are right about that theme picking. So on this video, I'm going to do two things. One is that I'm going to talk about some of the themes that I am bullish on. I feel that these themes are going to do really well. Some of the themes that I'm bearish on. And on top of that, I will explain you the rational logic, all aspects around it, and talk about specific stocks within these themes. Some of the themes that I've picked in the past have done really well. For example, जैसे public sector banks had picked, they have done really well. Small finance banks have given massive returns. These early stage fallen startups which got listed, got crushed, then I bought them. For example, Paytm, Zomato, they are doing really, really well as of now. Some of the other themes I could not pick. For example, I did not pick defense stocks at all. And defense stocks ने बहुत जम के रिटर्न दिया. Similarly, railway stocks उन्होंने बहुत जम के रिटर्न दिया. So the reason why I'm telling you this story is that see, मैं कोई अंतर्यामी नहीं हूँ that I can tell you like, you know what, okay, sir, ये 10 stocks चलेंगे या ये 10 themes चलेंगी. No, I cannot tell you that. I can honestly discuss my perspective, viewpoint. That is what I'm trying to do. Please watch the video till the very end. Understand the rational arguments. बहुत condensed way में I am going to explain, power pack a lot of information for you. Make notes. Highly important video from that perspective. And let's begin. First theme that I am bullish on, and in fact, I have been bullish on this theme, is the life insurance company and in general, the insurance theme. So there are 4 or 5 reasons why I'm bullish on the insurance theme, and I have been putting my money on the insurance theme, not just now, but for the last 1 odd year. So number 1 reason why I'm bullish on the insurance theme is the fact that India is an under-penetrated market when it comes to general insurance. जैसे general insurance हो गया आपके car, vehicle, ये सारे insurance, and on top of that even the life insurance. So life insurance products होते हैं, general insurance products होते हैं. On an average, the penetration in India for these insurance product right now is somewhere around 2.5 to 3%. And आगे चल के it is expected that this will go up. Now you might have a very natural response कि अच्छा आप ऐसे for sure कैसे बोल सकते हो कि ये theme चलेगी. Okay, so for that you do relative comparison. So here is a quick chart for you which compares the penetration of insurance in India with comparable countries like Malaysia and जो similar standard of living वाली countries हैं, उससे अगर आप compare करके देखोगे तो आपको पता चलेगा कि मलेशिया, थाईलैंड, इन सारी countries में the average insurance penetration is between 4 to 5% or rather 4 to 6%. And India में it is around 2.5 to 3.5%. So therefore it is expected कि आगे चल के इंडिया का इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर is going to do well. So there is an industry growth rate that will happen in this industry, and जो भी leading players हैं they are going to make really good money on that theme. Stocks के नाम भी बताऊंगा आपको. So see, it's not as if that only the industry size is growing from this to this. It also has to do with the fact कि कितनी premiumization हो रहा है. So let's say people used to spend, let's say 100 rupees on insurance monthly. Now they are spending like 200 rupees, right? So इसमें premiumization हो गया कि वो चीज़ आपको महंगी मिलने लगी. So this premiumization is also happening in the insurance space. Now you'll say कि अच्छा आपके पास कोई fact है to support this. तो मैं आपको अपने पापा की कहानी सुनाता हूँ. So my dad had a kidney stone operation roughly year and a half back. And the first question the doctor asked was कि नहीं कि you know पथरी आपको कितनी है ये सब नहीं पूछा उन्होंने पूछा do you have an insurance or no? So I asked him like you know okay, why are you asking this question first? So see, if you have an insurance मैं आपको 2 दिन के लिए admit करूँगा. Why? Because your bill will be paid by the insurance company. So yeah, so that's what I would do from a precaution point of view. If you do not have an insurance, then I'll only admit you for 1 day, right? And आप पूछ के देख लेना अपने आसपास. That's a similar kind of response that you will get. Now I'm not saying that you know doctors are playing some game here. They might not. I'm not here to comment. But basically what is happening is that as more people get insurance, keeping patients for 2 days for kidney stone operation also becomes like a standard norm. फिर वो हर किसी को ही करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि डॉक्टर्स की कमाई भी बढ़िया होगी थ्रू इंश्योरेंस कंपनी, ज़्यादा उनका हॉस्पिटल यूटिलाइजेशन होगा. सो ओवर टाइम लाइफ इंश्योरेंस, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस विल बिकम अ क्रिटिकल प्रोडक्ट. दैट्स द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. बिकॉज जैसे अमेरिका में सिचुएशन क्या है कि यार आपकी उंगली कट जाती है ना तो आपको भाई साहब 20-25 हज़ार $US देने पड़ते हैं सिर्फ उंगली जुड़वाने के लिए. कई बार तो लोग जुड़वाते नहीं है, कटे रहते उंगली, मुझे नहीं करना कुछ, राइट? सो दैट इज व्हाट दे माइट से. Why? Because the cost has become exorbitant. If you don't have an insurance in the US on your health life insurance, It is a nightmare, right? Why? Because of this premiumization thing. Now, this is picking up in India. I'm not saying that the situation will become like that of the US. But as the healthcare gets more and more formalized, this premiumization will 100% play in, and people are going to avail more and more insurance. So this is the second point. Third is that, see, this is not like a non-sticky type of a product. Yeah, chalo theek hai, nahi lete health insurance. Yeah, chalo nahi lete life insurance. No, this is something that you will need to have. So on that note, let me quickly introduce the sponsors of today's video also, that many of you might be considering health insurance and life insurance, and हमें समझ में नहीं आता कि कितना प्रीमियम ले, कितना प्रीमियम पे करें, what type of insurance to have, what type of health network to have. So many doubts are there. So it's critical that you speak with an insurance expert. If you use the link in the description and comment box, you can schedule a free phone call with an insurance expert, absolutely free of cost. No spam calling will happen. I have personally purchased my insurance from Ditto. You can definitely go and check it out. Again, go check the links in the description and comments. So anyways, this is a need-based product. The demand is not going to come down. Fourth and final point is that, see, there is massive scope for corporates to make money from India's health and life insurance. Now, हर तरीके की company is going to make money in this. If it is a slightly more effective, efficient firm, वो ज़्यादा पैसा कमा लेगी. अगर effective नहीं है तो कम पैसा कमा लेगी. But the bottom line is that the companies are going to make crazy amount of money through this particular sector. Therefore, for me, this is a booming sector. I have put my money in HDFC Life. That is one of my top picks in this particular domain. The reason why I have picked HDFC Life is very simple कि अभी valuation के point of view से the entire HDFC group hasn't done really well. So अब ऐसा तो होगा नहीं कि यार सिर्फ HDFC बैंक ऊपर जाएगा, बाकी के नहीं जाएंगे. अभी जैसे थोड़ा HDFC AMC has started to run, and that was one of the themes I have been really bullish on. In fact, that is a theme that I continue to be bullish on, AMC वाली theme. But to cut the long story short, HDFC group is very well managed, risk कम है, valuation wise it's sensible, and सबके सब mostly साथ में ही ऊपर जाएंगे. So from that perspective, I will pick something like HDFC Life over some LIC type of companies, right? So that is my first theme that I am bullish on. Now let me comment on second theme. Now this is green energy theme. इतनी बातें हो रही हैं कि भाई साहब ग्रीन एनर्जी तो बस अब एक्सप्लोजन होने वाला है. अब नाउ दिस इज गोइंग टू मेक लाइक सो मच मनी फॉर पीपल, दिस दैट. तो आप थोड़ा मैक्रो डेटा पढ़ लो पहले, राइट, एंड उसके बाद decide whether you want to invest your money in green energy or clean energy based business or not. Because one simple narrative that is presented in the stock market is कि यार देखो धीरे धीरे कोल खत्म हो जाएगा, ऑयल खत्म हो जाएगा, ये वो, तो एनर्जी तो ग्रीन एनर्जी बननी है, चाहे वो हाइड्रो से बने, विंड से बने, दिस दैट. सो डेफिनेटली इट मेक्स सेंस टू बाय समथिंग लाइक Suzlon. So okay, so let's check what has happened to Suzlon Energy here. So it used to trade at like whatever 337, and ये अभी इसकी हालत चल रही है. So I'm not saying that this is a good stock or a bad stock, because the stock has given recovery. It has started to jump back up. So people are getting very, very excited about this space. Now see, you need to check the macro data, because generally the green energy space is somewhat subsidized by the government funds and external big investors. इसमें retail का पैसा बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है, right? And a lot of innovation money is required because the cost needs to be brought down. जैसे आप हो, right? Do you really care कि आपको हाइड्रो एनर्जी मिल रही है या आपको भाई साहब कोल की एनर्जी मिल रही है? आपको जब तक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल आपका कम आ रहा है तब तक आप मजे कर रहे हो. कुछ भी आप कोयला जला लो, हमें नहीं फर्क पड़ता, आप लकड़ी जला के हमें बिजली दे दो, राइट? दैट इज व्हाट जनरल जनता केयर्स अबाउट. जनरल जनता डज नॉट केयर अबाउट कि आपकी हाइड्रो बन रही है, ये वो, राइट? सो फ्रॉम दैट परस्पेक्टिव, अनलेस द कॉस्ट ऑफ विंड एनर्जी कम्स डाउन, सोलर एनर्जी की कॉस्ट कम हो जाए, जैसे ईवी व्हीकल्स हैं उनका इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बन जाए, उसमें आप आराम से अपने चार्जिंग स्टेशन पे जाके अपनी गाड़ी चार्ज कर लो वगैरह वगैरह, till that conveniences are there and cost structure is there, mass adoption is unlikely to happen. And to get to that point, the government and investors need to put in crazy ton of money in these industries. Now, what is happening in this green energy space is, and these are the 3 top clean energy ETFs. So this represents the entire sentiment in the clean energy, green energy space. And आप देखोगे कि total investments have been coming down in this entire industry, which is not a very healthy sign, and this has been happening since 2021. अब नेचुरल सवाल आएगा कि भाई साहब 2021 में ऐसा क्या हो गया कि ये कम होने लग गए. देखो, ऑल दिस ग्रीन एनर्जी, क्लीन एनर्जी, में बहुत देसी भाषा में आपको बताता हूँ दैट दीज आर ऑल अमीरों के शौक एज ऑफ नाउ. व्हाई एम आई सेइंग इट? बिकॉज थिंक अबाउट इट दिस वे, व्हेन मनी इज चीप एंड एवरी वन हैज़ अ लॉट ऑफ मनी, तब क्या होता है कि यार चलो ठीक है, यू नो, सोशल वेलफेयर करेंगे एंड अच्छा काम करेंगे दुनिया में एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ. राइट नाउ मनी इज टाइट, इंटरेस्ट रेट इज वेरी वेरी हाई, सो द मनी इज अनफॉर्चुनेटली नॉट गोइंग टू हॉबीज पर से. Money is going to areas, industries where real money can be made and investors can make crazy ton of money. So that is how big investors are thinking. Of course, contrary viewpoints are welcomed, but this is my perspective कि money is shrinking. That is what the macro data tells. अब इसी घड़ी में let's analyze Adani Green का stock also because this is one of the most talked about green energy stock. And आप देख लो right कि क्या हालत चल रही है right. For example, this was trading at 2882. Right now it is at 920. And ये जो आपको पूरी volume दिख रही है because heavy volume has come. What exactly would this be? Now are people aggregating here? I don't think so. I don't think that that is the case, and this can be verified by looking at the investors. So at one point in time, FIIs used to have 22% of Adani Green. Now it is at 18%. And even the Adani Group people have cut their own holding. वो बहुत ज़्यादा अपनी holding कभी नहीं काटते किसी भी company में. But on Green Energy One, they have actually cut their holding, which is very interesting. Now you guys draw your inferences out of it, whether you should be investing, not investing, whether it is cheap or not. Because कई बार क्या होता है valuation पे खेल जाते हैं कि यार सस्ता मिल रहा है क्या ही गिरेगा लेट्स बाय इट बट सी गाइस इफ द इंडस्ट्री इटसेल्फ इज नॉट ग्रोइंग वेरी फास्ट फॉर एग्जांपल यहां पे आप देखो कि ROCE ऑफ द कंपनी इटसेल्फ इज लाइक 8% राइट नाउ 8% इज लाइक रियली बैड इससे ज्यादा पैसा तो आप बॉन्ड इन्वेस्टिंग करके कर दोगे जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल इफ दिस एंटायर कंपनी शट्स डाउन एंड व्हाटएवर मनी दे हैव इफ दे जस्ट सिंपली पुट इट ऑन अ बॉन्ड दे आर गोइंग टू मेक मोर मनी राइट दैट इज द फैक्ट ऑफ इट नाउ ऑफ कोर्स इट माइट बी अ फ्यूचरिस्टिक प्ले आई डोंट नो मे बी 10-12-20 साल बाद they are going to make a lot of money. Who can say? Maybe abhi kuch reversal aa jaye. But net, as an investor, if you put a lot of money behind these type of companies, it's a very high risk proposition. Okay, so the third theme is the rural theme. Now, rural theme is one of the oldest themes in India. कि भाई साहब आप गांव का तो विकास होगा ही होगा वो भी शहर टाइप बनेंगे तो विच एवर कंपनीज आर केटरिंग टू रूरल हाउस होल्ड्स दे आर गोइंग टू मेक क्रेजी अमाउंट ऑफ मनी सो ग्रोथ स्टोरी इज हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर ग्रोथ स्टोरी इज निर्मा ऑल दीज डिफरेंट कंपनीज विच हैव कम आउट ऑफ rural households, so to say. Oversimplified narrative has been going on for the last, I don't know how many decades. Has it really worked out? The short answer, unfortunately, is no. Now you need to ask yourself a question कि भाई साहब ऐसा हो क्यों रहा है, right? कि why is it that rural theme unfortunately does not work or hasn't worked so far कि आपको crazy return मिल गए हो कि आप 10-20 सालों के लिए पैसा लगा के छोड़ दो और आपका पैसा बहुत आगे बढ़ जाए बिकॉज यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द नेचर ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट बीइंग सोल्ड टू द रूरल कम्युनिटी नाउ सी देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ बिजनेसेस वन इज कॉल्ड एज डायरेक्ट टू कस्टमर फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे पार्ले जी बिस्किट राइट नाउ दैट इज अ डायरेक्ट टू कस्टमर टाइप ऑफ अ बिजनेस जैसे गांव की जनता होगी दे माइट गो एंड बाय दीज बिस्किट्स ईट देम एंड दे माइट बी देयर मेजर कंज्यूमर बेस ओके सो दीज आर D2C टाइप ऑफ बिजनेसेस एंड आप पार्ले जी की केस स्टडी पढ़ो दैट व्हाट हैज हैपेंड विद पार्ले जी What was the cost of Parle G biscuit back in 2000? Well, it was 5 rupees. The chota packet was 4-5 rupees, something like this. What is the cost of Parle G biscuit right now? It is 4 to 5 rupees. What does that indicate? So one is that they have done shrinkflation. That is that they have reduced the size of the packet and kept the cost the same. Now the second implication is that why have they kept the cost of the packet same? Because the janta there does not have a lot of discretionary income and they are very, very cost conscious customers. Now that is a problem that when we end up investing money in these type of themes कि रूरल थीम पकड़ ली जैसे मैंने रिलैक्सो पकड़ लिया था तंग आ गया एंड आई सोल्ड दैट स्टॉक व्हाई बिकॉज ऑफ द एग्जैक्ट सेम थिंग दैट यू एंड अप इन्वेस्टिंग इन कंपनीज जिनका ओनली मोड और ओनली कंपेरेटिव एडवांटेज इज कीप ऑन कटिंग द प्राइस राइट आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट पार्ले जी इज अ बैड बिजनेस बट टिपिकली स्पीकिंग इफ यू पिक 10 सच बिजनेसेस 7-8 में आपका पैसा नहीं बनेगा राइट सो दैट इज व्हाट द हिस्ट्री टीचेस अस दैट इज व्हाट डेटा एनालिसिस टीचेस अस नाउ व्हाट इज अ बेटर नैरेटिव टू पिक अ बेटर नैरेटिव इज दैट इफ यू पिक B2B टाइप ऑफ बिजनेसेस नाउ व्हाट आर B2B टाइप ऑफ बिजनेस नाउ अगेन डोंट कंसिडर दिस एज अ स्टॉक रिकमेंडेशन ये सारी बातें आपको फंडामेंटल समझाने के लिए करता हूँ आई गिव मोर डिटेल्ड कॉमेंट्री ऑन माई मेंबर कम्युनिटी ऑन माई कोर्सेज सबकी लिंक है इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन एंड कॉमेंट बॉक्स प्लीज गो एंड चेक इट My courses are money making courses in the sense उनका ROI positive होता है. If you invest X rupees, then you are likely to make more money than that. Now this is not a guarantee कि 100% आपके बनेंगे मैं ऐसे कोई assurances नहीं देता. Honestly, I teach whatever I know. I create a healthy community around it so that people can learn from each other, become better investors, and through better, more informed investing, you will end up making more money. That is the hope with which I run my courses. In case you are interested, definitely go and check out the links in the description and comment box. So again, coming to the example, here you can study the case study of PI industry. Now this according to me is a good rural theme to pick, so to say. Why? Because they manufacture almost 80% of API. They are entering into the pharma space. A lot of their products find their foothold in the rural community. एंड दे आर B2B प्लेयर. वो इंटरमीडियरीज को प्रोडक्ट सप्लाई करते हैं. व्हाट आर APIs? APIs आर रॉ मटेरियल ऑन विच मोर स्पेशलाइज्ड केमिकल्स आर बिल्ट. सो उनको सप्लाई करते हैं एंड दे आर द वन इवेंचुअली सेलिंग द प्रोडक्ट टू दी masses. So from that perspective, this business is doing well. आप देख लो, ROCE is more than 21%, which is very healthy ROCE. All-time high profits, all-time high revenues, no problem there. The company is growing at almost 40%. So solid company hai. If you are picking these type of businesses which are expanding also in new industries, there is a good chance that you will make good money. Now, of course, this is not a stock buying recommendation. Please understand the contrary commentary also and accordingly pick your bets. So, okay, so the next theme is defense. I have received so many questions that, okay, why haven't you put your money in defense? Defense is such a great sector. This, that, itni growth ho gayi hai, this, that. See guys, number one, I am not comfortable putting in themes which I don't understand. So honestly, I don't understand the defense theme. There is no head or leg why certain contracts are given to party X, party Y, political relationships honge, whatever it is. So personally, I feel very iffy because I would not know why some stock is running, not running. I can't do much analysis on it. So it's more of a news-based / connection / politics-based theme. I don't get it. Okay, that's one. Second key thing is that if you look at the data, here is the data, and you can check that India is not a major exporter of defense weapons globally speaking. So हमारा industry इतनी बड़ी नहीं है. Domestically you can talk about the fact कि अच्छा यार domestically बहुत अच्छा काम हो रहा है वगैरह वगैरह. But honestly, it's not huge. Okay, that's the key message that you must understand. Now, third and finally, the extent of private sector participation in manufacture of defense equipments is not that high in India. This is very different to that in the US. Is this a good thing, bad thing? That's up for debate. I'm not really going to comment on that. But to cut the long story short, investing in defense is like investing in public sector enterprise theme. अब वो भाई साहब वो theme कई बार बहुत अच्छी भी करती है, बहुत खराब भी करती है. There is just too much volatility. Why? Because government businesses are not designed to be profit making, at least from like 10-20 year viewpoint. So what will government do? Government will extract that money somehow, right? So that's the simple point that needs to be understood. Final aspect here is that see, even if the private sector participation is increased, the contract giving is highly shady. Whether it is the Rafale deal and दुनिया भर की deals होती रहती हैं, आप पढ़ते ही रहते होगे news में. So this is a very opaque industry for me to make any sense out of it. So from an analyst viewpoint, I can't make any sense of it. So therefore, I'm away. I don't know whether this theme is good or bad. You guys let me know in the comment and description. Okay, so the next theme is the pharma theme. Now, why pharma theme is so interesting? I am now bullish on the pharma theme. Why is that? Because number one reason is that see, pharma grew really fast in the 2020-2021 period. COVID was a healthcare oriented problem. Pharma sector got benefited quite a lot and in terms of revenues, profits, and बहुत जम के उन्होंने पैसा कमाया and their valuations shot up quite aggressively. Then for the last 1.5 years, they have been in massive correction. Now, some sensible levels are being reached. This is part one. Part two, pharma is again a critical sector. This will move in tandem with healthcare, insurance, hospitals, all these themes you can lump together and उसमें आप अपना portfolio बना सकते हो. Now again, what specific sub themes can you create out of this? This is something that I'll explain on my tomorrow's member community post. So you can check the links in the description and comment box to join. Now coming back, when you are picking the pharma theme, you need to understand what type of pharma player you should be putting your money on. There are different types of pharma players in the market. कुछ करते हैं API, कुछ करते हैं diagnostic testing. There is a company like PharmEasy which is trying to do a lot of stuff. For example, they acquired Thyrocare, which was a very good company. उन्होंने उसको acquire किया. Why? Because they wanted to get into the diagnostic/testing market. PharmEasy क्या करता था भैया? वो medicine supply करता था and like a typical startup, उन्होंने आपको medicine बेची. Then next day, ओह आप मेडिकल टेस्ट करा लो, ओह आपके घर पे लड़का भेज देते हैं, आप अपना यूरिन सैंपल दे देना, दिस दैट, यूरिन टेस्ट भी करा लो. So what startups started doing was that they started to do aggressive selling. Now what has started to happen in the market is that people are not liking this unnecessary aggressive selling. उनको लगता है यार दिमाग खाते रहते हैं, एक बार फोन नंबर क्या दे दिया, एक मेडिसिन मंगा ली, आप तुम चढ़ गए हमारे ऊपर. एवरी सेकंड डे भाई आप अपने यूरिन टेस्ट करा लो, आप अपना ब्लड टेस्ट करा लो, आप तीसरे दिन ये करा लो, 50% डिस्काउंट ले लो. So from that perspective, all these startups which were doing exceedingly well and हर किसी को लग रहा था कि यार PharmEasy जो आएगा वो तो भाई साहब खत्म कर देगा सारे हॉस्पिटल सब कुछ बर्बाद हो जाएगा, दिस दैट. No, people are deeply frustrated with this entire upselling that is happening. You guys let me know. What do you think about this? But again, coming back to the core story, see, you need to pick specialized players. That is what my hypothesis on this would be, that if I'm picking hospitals, I'll try to pick the best possible hospitals जो पैसा अपना बना लेंगे. Now, very quickly, finally explaining why am I bullish on the pharma space and why I feel that pharma space is coming back up. A classic case in point can be understood by analyzing Dr. Lal Path Lab or Divi's Lab. So आप यहाँ पे देखो, and यही मैं आपको स्टोरी बता रहा था. So this is almost 2020, this was 2320, and एकदम से इसका वैल्यूएशन हो गया डबल, ऑलमोस्ट 5000 तक. देन इट करेक्टेड क्वाइट अग्रेसिवली 2800 बैक टू नॉर्मल लेवल्स, एंड नाउ इट इज समवॉट गोइंग इन दिस जोन. सो इट लुक्स लाइक दैट दीज स्टॉक्स हैव बॉटम्ड आउट. So from valuation point of view, these are not hyper expensive valuation given the context of results. For example, ROCE आप देख लो 20% है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Revenues profits sensible है, sticky industry है. Yes, have revenues profits slowed down? Of course they are going to slow down. 2020, 2021 phase was a golden phase for these type of companies. उतने प्रॉफिट्स उनके एकदम से नहीं बनेंगे. ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज गोइंग टू बी अ डिप. दिस इज नॉट अ बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम कि इनका 8000 होता था एंड नाउ इट 7700, ग्रोथ स्लो डाउन हो गई है. भाई ऑफ कोर्स होगी. द एंटायर 2020 2021 कोविड प्रॉब्लम दैट एग्जिस्टेड, इट क्रिएटेड मैसिव इंपैक्ट ऑन हेल्थ. दैट वाज अ स्पाइक. सो ओके, सो नाउ लेट मी स्पीक अबाउट फाइनल 2 थीम्स, वरना वीडियो बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा हो जाएगा. द नेक्स्ट थीम आई कीप ऑन स्पीकिंग अबाउट इट आर बैंक्स. नाउ हियर आई एम नॉट hyper bullish on public sector banks as of now. कुछ public sector pockets of growth is left. Again मैं आपको list बना के दे दूंगा where I feel growth might come on the member community. But private sector banks, for example HDFC Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, ICICI, Axis, according to me all should start growing quite aggressively any moment from now. Results have been really good. No problem has been there. Next theme would be something like the AMC theme. This has done fabulously well over the last 6 months. बहुत अच्छे returns आए हैं. Should you still stay invested in this theme? Personally speaking, I am still staying invested. I have not booked much profit on this theme. I continue to stay invested. Why? Because now I feel that there is a very clear trigger to go from 19,200, 300 to 21,500. अब हो सकता है कि यार next year तक आए या maybe the year after that. But there is a good 10-15% up move that is likely to happen anytime. I don't want to miss on that gain. And 10-15% up move on Nifty, what does that mean? It clearly means that there will be at least 2 good quarters that AMC companies are going to exhibit. Should you be investing in AMC as of now? Bulk position वगैरह तो मत बनाइए because run up has been very very high as of now. You could consider doing SIPs, but bulk investing opportunity is gone. मुझे कुछ themes और discuss करनी थी, but unfortunately the video will become really long. What I would request you to do next is to control your sentiments. Please go and watch this particular video that I did recently. It was around the fact that how retail investors are made to lose money in the stock market, how not to get fooled by all this stuff that is floating in the stock market. Definitely go and check this video. It will make you a more informed investor, and I will see you soon.